What's going on, family? So I had to get to this video. I had to hurry up and make this because the market is doing something crazy, right? I'm going to head out with the queen. We're going to have some fun. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. It's all playing out like I said it would. I got to talk about this, right? So what is the market doing? How can, I keep calling a lot of this stuff that's about to happen a year in advance, 6 months in advance. How am I doing this, right? Well, number one, I'll put a link in the description below. And basically, I'm going to show and teach y'all what I'm seeing, what I'm doing, things I'm using, how I break things down. It's totally free. Just click it. But I feel like it's going to take some time, right? I'm not just somebody who just uses a couple of things that I can teach you in 5-10 minutes. But this video is going to have to be 5-10 minutes because we're getting ready to head out, right? I'm literally filming this while she's getting ready. So I'm saying all of that because what's going on in the market? What am I seeing? How was I able to call Amazon's fall? I told you all about 48 weeks ago, which is less than a year. So roughly about 11 months ago, I told you that Amazon was going to fall under 2,500 and maybe even under 2,100, right? Now let's look at that because I know some people are like, that's BS. You didn't call that. And that's exactly why I make these timestamps and these predictions on my page and inside of STB, because y'all got me messed up. For those people who want to call me out and say I'm lying about what I do, I got receipts, baby. I got receipts, okay? So of course, this is on my Instagram page. You can go check it out. I just did a quick little, like a video. There we go. And boom, you can click predictions. And here we are, right? And what did I say? I said, hey, okay, Amazon is also going to fall below 2,500, maybe even 2,200, right? Maybe even 2,200. So when I did that, let me see if I can move this. It's acting weird. There we go. So when I gave this out, people thought I was crazy. Now, a lot of people said, Tay, I believe in you. Okay, we had 78% people say, Tay, I believe in you. I believe in Tay. I think you're right. But a lot of people say, dude, you are nuts. There's no way Amazon is going to fall from, at the time, it was like 3,600. There's no way Amazon is going to fall from 3,600 to under $2,200. I go, okay. So let's look at it. That's what I wanted to talk about today. Let's look at it. What was I seeing and how did this play out? Now, first of all, I saw a lot of things, right? It wasn't just technical analysis. I do a lot of fundamental work. But we'll go into the technicals at least, because I like to help, right? Now, when I say technicals, I'm a little crazy with my technicals, right? There's a few things that I like to use, this being one. It won't make sense to most of you all, and that's okay, right? This is one thing that you can use to see how the market is going to move over time, right? Another thing that I like to use is, let me go to something that may be familiar, something that you can Google, because I get a lot of people say, I can Google what you teach. Well, okay, let me give you something you can Google, because you can't really Google some of the stuff that I look for, right? So we're going to go to Amazon. We're going to look at, what did I see, right? Ooh, look at that. Look at that fall, right? Look at that fall. So we made a high of 3,700. 3,700, right? We are now sitting at 2,177. And you see my lines? Look how perfectly they're respected, right? This is technical analysis, boys and girls. This is what I do. This is what I do. This is what I teach in STB. This is what I teach a lot of my folks in STB to do, okay? So secure the bag, we've been seeing this. We've been calling it. It's nothing new. But what did I see when I called it, which was probably about a year ago, okay? So roughly a year ago, so we're looking at right in this area, I started calling out. I'm like, hey, y'all see this popping happen, I personally think we're getting ready to fall, right? I'm sorry, that's 2020. So let's go over 2021. So like I said, it was right about a year ago. So right around April, May. So this is when I was calling it, because I had a resistance line here, right? So I had big resistance For those of you who always want to know, like, Tay, what are you looking for a resistance line to make a resistance line? Keep in mind, it's the weekly chart. What I'm usually looking for is multiple lines, at least 3 or more, or multiple candles to touch my line that I'm creating, right? So for example, I'm going to just delete this line, right? I'm going to redraw it for you so you can see what I'm talking about, right? So when I saw these kind of popping up, right, I would have gave it kind of a soft, prediction or a soft line. And I would have essentially connected as many as I could, right? And I say that because a lot of you are going to try to be perfect. Oh my God, I don't know if I'm perfect or right. As many as you can get, right? 1, 2, 3, almost 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to the T. Look at that. And then 10. So just that line alone was one of the things that I knew, okay, hey, this thing's about to fall, right? It keeps rejecting at this line. That tells me, okay, probably want to start taking a short position on it, or at least some puts to hedge, whatever you want to play. This is how we're going to do it to make money on the downside, right? So a lot of us made money on the downside, not just on Amazon. I've called multiple things. I've called SPY, which is S&P ETF. I called a few things. I won't go over Tesla. For my people who've been following me on Instagram, Tesla, we had a nice spiel on Tesla, and I kind of showed you all what I saw. But anyway, these are a few things that I'm looking for, right? Not just that. Of course, you can look at your RSI, right? That's not a big thing. I like 2 or 3. I call them buy or sell signals. I like 2 or 3. So RSI would just be one that tells me, okay, it's about that time. The MACD, of course, yes, it's about that time. This is stuff that y'all can Google, right? This is stuff y'all can Google. And maybe I teach it a little different than a lot of people, but this is stuff you can Google. This is stuff you can find on YouTube. I'm not the only person who does technical analysis. Yes, it's great, and I'm really good at it, but there are people just as good, if not better, at technical analysis than I am. Now, there are some things that I have possession of, information-wise, that is far superior than many people, especially on YouTube. Many people, and that's what allows me to see what's going on in the market, right? So all of that being said, family, this is how we were able to make money on the downside on Amazon. For those of you who say, Tay, that's too expensive, you could have came over to Tesla. We called that as well. You can just go on my Instagram and see that. We called Tesla, or I called Tesla roughly around $1,100, like right in here. As a matter of fact, I made money on each of its falls. I called puts here. We made money there. I called puts around here, and we scaled in. I don't know when the top is going to happen, so I didn't catch the top. We scaled in. So I started buying maybe around 900, right? So I bought puts here, I bought puts here, I bought puts here, and then boom, right down to $700. I actually exited my position right at about 840, right? And then as of last week, we saw a crazy spill. Let me go to the daily chart. I called puts last week or 2 weeks ago, maybe, in STB in the class. And I called it right here, right? And literally, as this thing played out, it went back up. A lot of people grabbed them here because that's when the class, I had a class that I taught. That's when the class was. Well, actually, it was the day before because this was a weekend, right? Let's see, right in here. So 15th, 16th. 16th was the class, and then the market opened at a high on the 21st, and then boom, we got a really good fall. I think that was over $100. Yeah, actually more than $100. So we made money on that. Everything was great, right? This is how you survive the markets, family. And let me tell you something. There are not a lot of people who can do this stuff, right? So, everybody's kind of like crying about their positions. There are not a lot of people, even under, I'll be honest with you, sometimes people follow what I tell them to. I say, hey, buy puts. Hey, the market's getting ready to fall. And even then, people sometimes lose because they don't know how to play it. And why? Because it's not just about me saying buy puts here and hold them until whenever. You need to know when to scale in. You need to know, hey, is this support or resistance? Hey, what is Tay seeing, right? You have to speak my language, which is why I started. It was the only reason I started STB, Secure the Bag, for those of y'all who don't know. But anyway, this is what's happening. There's a few other things I called just to kind of go over a review for all my people. The SPY, I told you all we were looking for a $400 price target at January 3rd, I believe was the time. So yeah, back on this candle, January 3rd. That should have actually been a weekend. Okay, Friday. Friday was January 3rd when I called my puts in STB. I said, hey, y'all grab. And I was sick, actually. I'm laying on the couch right here. And I'm texting. I'm saying, look, y'all grab puts and grab them for 8 months out, right? 8 months would have took us into September. I said, hey, I'm looking for a $400 price target. At the time, we were at 478, right? This move here alone, some people have been messaging me. They're saying they, a lot of people, they entered, exited, re-entered, and then exited. Because my people who know how to trade, we got in here. Some people get out around the 200 EMA, which is usually a good support. So you don't want to hold it through that. They waited for the bounce back up. We grabbed it because, of course, look at this. Got this resistance line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So this line, just these few candles told us that, hey, this line was going to be rejected. So if you just waited for it to pop back up, hit this line, puts. That's what we did. We made good money. And like I said, most people who made good money averaged about 200-300% just from this move from here down on the spot. So, it's one of those things where, I got other things that I look at. Of course, I'm looking at planetary activity. I'm looking at fundamentals of just overall companies. I'm looking at technical analysis, et cetera, et cetera. But overall, this is what I see happening. This is what's going on. I've already said, and I'll say it again. I think we're gonna have a bullish time over the next 2 months, maybe. So towards mid to end May, I'm looking at May 15th is when it'll kind of start up. May 15th, all the way over to maybe end of June, maybe as late as mid-July. But I want to say late July, maybe mid-August, we're going to be looking at another market fall, just for those of y'all who don't know. So that's what I'm seeing based on my fundamentals, based on all of my confluences. For those of you who don't know, once again, my confluences just basically mean, hey, these points are telling us that more than likely you're going to be right? So I have about 15 to 20 confluence points that point me in the right direction, that even allows me to come on here with a bold attitude and say, yes, I think this is what's going to happen over the next 8 months, right? So hope this helps. I hope y'all enjoy. This is my time. I got to get out because I think the queen is ready. We're going to have some fun. Other than that, keep studying, keep tapping in, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Make sure you sign up for the class I'm going to be teaching on May 18th. This will be great. Why? Because May 18th is the anniversary of STB, right? I started STB on May 18th, and I'm going to do something really special for y'all. So you might want to be there, right? Other than that, I'm out.